So now we are ready to die cut the pieces for the hills. Now this particular die cut has trees with it. We're going to be using the pieces without the trees. Because in this project I wanted to use this particular tree die cut, I kind of thought the two of them didn't necessarily create the look that I was wanting. So I'm leaving any of the pieces from this particular die cut that have the trees in it out. And we're only going to be using this piece, these pieces here. So I have one dark, one medium, and one light. I'm going to be doing the medium in that one. I'm going to be doing the white in this one. I'm going to be doing this first one here in the dark color. And you can fit two of these hills within the same piece of paper, which is why you only need one of each of the colors. So I've got one there. I flip it the other way and I can fit my other piece in that piece. If your paper doesn't want to come out, we'll just use the tool to poke it out. Now I'm going to do the white. So just like the first video where we did the mountains, these pieces are all 4x6. And they're the perfect size to get to each of the wider parts of the hills. This one you need to be a little bit more careful with taking out because there's some pieces there, some finer pieces there that we don't want to bend. This piece right up here. I'm going to be a little bit more careful with that one there. And typically while I'm die cutting these pieces here, they're going to get tossed anyways. I just rip them off so they're not in my way. Just take this white piece out of here because I don't want that interfering with the cut. And again, we're being really careful with this little narrow white piece here. I've never actually torn it off, but I don't want to bend it or alter it too much in there. And now this piece here. If you're doing multiples of these, you can actually fit several of these within the light piece here. But again, for this we only need two. So I've got one right there. Other piece right here. And we'll do that one more time. Come out of there nice and easy. All right, so I'll see you in the next video and we will assemble those and we will glitter them. All right, so take the cap off the glue. These ones are really easy to see exactly where they go on the die cuts. But one thing you may not be able to see on the video is there's actually little indents right on the die cut, so you can actually see if you're new to any of these videos that have several pieces that layer together. This particular one has little indents on there, so you can see exactly where each of those pieces goes. And you're going to want to make sure you have some glue on that little white strip there, because if you forgot to put glue on it, it's not going to sit down. And I like to glue this part on my mat here, because then if any glue goes on there, it just wipes off super easy. And the light blue piece goes in this corner. I've actually got this moved a little bit. It doesn't actually have that space there, but for what we're doing, I'm going to be adding I'm going to be attaching this one here onto this side, so we're not going to need that part anyways. Typically, if I'm not filming, I'm a little bit more careful when I am gluing pieces together. As well as if it's the first time I'm gluing dies together or die cuts together, typically a little bit slower, just because you're getting used to the die cut and where everything fits. Nice thing about using liquid glue with these is you can put the piece down and then you can shimmy it if it needs to be moved at all. It's nice and easy with wet glue to just move it around to where it's supposed to go. And you typically have like 5 seconds to do that. It's not something that you have a long period of time, but typically 5 seconds is enough to see that something needs to be moved a little bit. All right, so just like the last one, I am going to be gluing the die cuts together. So I'm gonna flip them over, and I want the top of the die cut to meet. Doesn't really matter about the bottom. The bottom is covered by the hill in front of it, so it's the top that we're actually going to be seeing. And even though the crease is covered by a tree, I don't want one hill going here and then the next part behind the tree going like that. I want it to look a little bit more natural. So I'm going to use my same tape. You could also use washi tape to glue these together or to tape these together. The type of tape that you use doesn't really matter. You just want to make sure that they are taped together so that you have one piece that you're working on. So once again, I need to cut this at 6 3/4. I've got my die cut a little bit off the edge here because this one's down a little bit. So I want it to be straight on there. I don't want my cut here to be crooked. I've got that cut to the size that we need. Once again, this is not going to be used for this project, so I can set it aside. It can go on another card or something. And we are going to add the glitter to the top of the hills. And I like to use my Distress Collage medium for this as well, because it's matte. You're not going to see the adhesive underneath there. It's only going to be there to glue the glitter on, and it's the glitter that's going to shine. It's not going to be the adhesive. So again, I only did it at the top. I'm the type of person, especially with glitter, I love glitter, but I think less is more. I think if it's just covered in glitter, that kind of takes away from the whole project. And since there's quite a bit going on between all the different layers and stuff like that, I don't necessarily need glitter on glitter on glitter. I want it to be just a little touch, but not overly glitter. So while it's still wet, you can see exactly where the glue is. The glue is puffy, but that does reduce as it's drying. So I'm going to set that aside to dry so that by the time we are ready to assemble our diorama, it is completely dry as well. I will see you in the next video where we're going to be doing this hill here. It's going to be basically the same as the hill that we just did, but we're only going to be doing 2 layers, and this layer here is going to be the lighter color as well. So we'll see you in that one.